For most of Earth's history, our planet was ruled by animals so large they almost defy belief. Creatures taller than buildings, longer than highways, and heavier than entire herds of modern animals once walked this land. Today, the biggest land animal alive, the African elephant, seems impressive until you compare it to dinosaurs that weighed over 70 tons. This raises an obvious question. Why were dinosaurs able to grow so much bigger than anything alive today? The answer isn't a single factor, but a perfect combination of biology, environment, evolution, and time. Dinosaurs lived in a world that encouraged extreme size, while modern animals live in one that limits it. One of the biggest reasons dinosaurs became so large is simply how long they were around. Dinosaurs existed for more than 160 million years. That is an almost unimaginable amount of time for evolution to experiment with body size. Humans, by comparison, have existed for only a few 100,000 years. Even mammals as a whole have had far less uninterrupted time to evolve large forms. Early dinosaurs were not giants. Many of the first species were small, fast, and lightweight. Over time, size became an advantage that kept reinforcing itself. The longer dinosaurs dominated the planet, the bigger some of them became. The environment they lived in also played a huge role. During much of the dinosaur age, Earth was warmer than it is today. There were no permanent ice caps at the poles, and global temperatures were more stable. Warm climates support more plant growth, and more plant growth means more food at the base of the food chain. With fewer extreme seasonal changes, large herbivorous dinosaurs didn't face long periods of starvation. Food was available across vast regions for much of the year. This allowed massive plant eaters to survive and thrive, and once giant herbivores existed, giant predators soon followed. Another critical factor was the atmosphere itself. Oxygen levels during parts of the dinosaur era were significantly higher than they are today. Modern air contains about 21% oxygen, but during certain periods of the Mesozoic era, oxygen levels may have reached closer to 26 or even 30%. Higher oxygen makes it easier for large bodies to function. Muscles receive oxygen more efficiently, and animals can support greater mass without exhausting themselves. This is one reason prehistoric insects were also much larger than today's insects. The atmosphere could support larger, more energy-demanding life forms, and dinosaurs took full advantage of that. Dinosaurs also had a major anatomical advantage that most people don't realize. Many large dinosaurs, especially the long-necked sauropods, had hollow bones filled with air pockets. These air sacs were similar to those found in modern birds. This made their skeletons much lighter than they appear, without sacrificing strength. In addition to reducing weight, these air sacs were part of an incredibly efficient breathing system. Unlike mammals, which move air in and out of their lungs, dinosaurs had a continuous airflow system. This allowed oxygen to pass through their lungs more efficiently, supporting their enormous size and high energy needs. Because of this, dinosaurs could grow far larger than mammals without collapsing under their own weight. If you tried to scale up an elephant to the size of a giant sauropod, its bones would snap and its organs would fail. Dinosaurs were built differently, and their bodies were optimized for gigantism. Reproduction also played a key role. Dinosaurs laid eggs instead of giving live birth. This freed them from many of the physical limitations mammals face. Mammals must carry their young inside their bodies, which places strict limits on how large the mother can grow and how much energy she can devote to growth. Dinosaurs could lay eggs and walk away, allowing adults to reach enormous sizes without the burden of pregnancy. Even the largest dinosaurs began life as tiny hatchlings and grew rapidly over many years. This growth strategy allowed evolution to push body size to extremes that mammals simply cannot match. The plants dinosaurs ate were another part of the puzzle. Many prehistoric plants were tough, fibrous, and low in nutritional value. Being large helped herbivorous dinosaurs digest this kind of food. Massive bodies could support enormous digestive systems that extracted nutrients more efficiently over long periods of time. Larger animals can also afford to eat lower quality food because they can consume huge quantities at once. A giant dinosaur could spend most of its day feeding, slowly processing vegetation and storing energy. In this context, being big wasn't a disadvantage, was the most efficient strategy. As herbivores grew larger, predators had to keep up. This led to an evolutionary arms race. Carnivorous dinosaurs that could grow bigger had access to larger prey and faced less competition from smaller predators. Over millions of years, this pressure produced some of the largest land predators to ever exist. Size also offered protection. A fully grown giant herbivore was nearly impossible to kill. Once an animal reaches a certain size, very few predators can threaten it. And natural selection strongly favors reaching that threshold. After the asteroid impact that wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs, the world changed dramatically. The climate became more unstable, oxygen levels dropped, and ecosystems were disrupted. Mammals survived by staying small, adaptable, and resource efficient. Large mammals did appear, such as mammoths and giant ground sloths, but they lived in a much harsher and more unpredictable world. Ice ages, droughts, and eventually human hunting made it difficult for truly gigantic land animals to survive long-term. There is also a hard limit imposed by physics. As animals get bigger, their weight increases faster than their strength. Bones must become disproportionately thicker. Hearts must work harder, and movement becomes more energy-intensive. Dinosaurs were already pushing these limits. Modern environmental conditions simply don't allow land animals to safely reach those sizes again. Today, the largest animals on Earth live in the ocean, where water helps support massive bodies. Blue whales are far larger than any dinosaur, but they could never survive on land. On solid ground, gravity places strict limits on size, and dinosaurs were uniquely adapted to operate at the edge of what was physically possible. Dinosaurs were not giants by accident. They were the result of a rare alignment of factors. Long evolutionary timespans, warm and stable climates, higher oxygen levels, specialized anatomy, and ecosystems rich enough to support enormous life forms. Once those conditions disappeared, so did the giants. Their size reminds us that evolution doesn't follow a straight path. It responds to opportunity. For millions of years, Earth offered dinosaurs the perfect opportunity to grow bigger than anything before or since. And they took it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about Earth's ancient past and the science behind it.